Canada is home to some of the largest reserves of critical minerals in the world. We have lithium, nickel, cobalt, copper, and rare earth elements. They're all widely available here. The value of our mineral production topped $70 billion in 2023. But the industry has the potential to do a whole lot more. So as part of our ongoing series that looks at how Canada can become more self-sufficient in the face of an ongoing trade war with the U.S., our producer, Mike Hiscock, looks at what would it take to turn Canada into a critical mineral juggernaut.
The race for critical minerals is on. You're looking at the Raglan mine in northern Quebec. Owned by Glencore Canada, metals and rocks pulled from mines like these will power the societies of tomorrow. From electric cars and cell phones to the latest medical technology and defense hardware. It's no wonder everyone wants them.
We're also signing agreements in various locations to unlock rare earths and minerals. I'd like to buy minerals on Russian land, too, if we can.
That a re-elected Labor government would establish a critical minerals strategic reserve.
And we can do so through our leadership in clean energy, in critical minerals, and in the intelligence infrastructure of the AI revolution.
But how much of a leader are we really in this race? Ian London is the Executive Director of the Canadian Critical Minerals and Materials Alliance. He says Canada has all the potential in this race, but needs to start moving.
We have great aspirations, but most of it's still in the ground and does not necessarily support a robust industrial side.
Right now, Canada has 56 critical mineral mines concentrated in these areas. But as Ian said, most of the resources we have are still buried. These are all the areas where critical mineral reserves have been found, but not yet exploited. Though harvesting them is only half the battle.
Can we do it? Absolutely. Take it out of the ground. Canada has a rich history in mining and early stage metallurgical processing. But what we're now talking about in this next generation is the manufacturing, the value add. Canada's been very happy, comfortable, complacent with the front end link of the chain. We'll just take it out of the ground and give it to somebody else. The money, the brain power, the technologies come later on in the process. Canada, North America, and the West can do it. It just has to get its act in order, but it's higher risk. Now you just get online, buy a Korean microwave, you're going to buy a Chinese washing machine and Hisense televisions. Wait a minute, what have we missed here?
Of all the critical mineral mines we have right now, fewer than half are owned by Canadian companies. The same thing is true when you look at the refineries, where the number drops to below 1/3.
You're not going to stop some of this foreign ownership. Some of them are well-established mining companies. That's not our issue. Our issue is, what are they going to do? They're going to put them on a boat or a ship or a plane and ship it over there to manufacture, produce. I want the batteries built here. So if you want Canada's rare earth product, help facilitate post-extraction.
Electrovia in Mississauga is one of the few Canadian companies that is manufacturing products using critical minerals. Every month they make 500 of these, lithium batteries. And these products are helping add even more value to what we pull from the ground.
The battery space, and the lithium-ion battery space in particular, is hyper-competitive. So the only way you survive is by being innovative. Most of our products are in these 24/7 applications, including e-commerce. So if you're ordering things online, there's a good chance your goods have been moved by an Electrovia powered machine. We export, of course, lots to the United States, Asia, Japan, Australia, and so forth.
Usually the batteries come from Japan and parts of Asia, and we import them into Canada. How did you get in a position where you're reversing that trend and importing the product to those same places?
Well, it's very unusual. And the reason we can do that is because we make a unique technology. It's not a normal lithium-ion battery. This is a lithium-ion battery which can outlast anything else on the market. That's why it's being exported all around the world, and why a product which typically comes from Japan, Korea, China is being made here in Canada and exported to that region.
Lithium batteries typically consist of 5 or more critical minerals, and Electrovaya's next goal might be to take its product full circle.
These large mining vehicles represent a huge amount of consumption of diesel and are looking for the right battery technology to electrify them. That could be an application we could look at.
What do you need? Be bold, get on and do it. We're going to live with the odd failure. I could live with it, the industry can live with it. And we can't rely on government to do it on its own. It's not about critical minerals. It's not about metallurgy on its own. It's about the reindustrialization of this country.
We saw him there in the piece. He's here in studio this morning. Producer Mike Hiscock. I'm really enjoying this series, by the way. It's really great to take a look at the potential in our country. But what are some of the biggest challenges that prevents Canada from becoming a leader, as you've so clearly outlined that we can be in this field?
I think the biggest thing we need to work on is we have to pull the minerals out of the ground a lot faster than we currently are. And so right now the supply chain is having trouble keeping up with the transition we're seeing to clean energy and electrification. So we're actually projected to see some pretty minor shortages of some minerals in the near future. And that's not because those shortages actually exist. It's because most of the world has been slow to adapt to this transition. So what that means is for the countries that did get in on the ground floor of this whole trend, they now control the market. So you have Australia that controls the bulk of the world's supply of lithium. You have Congo that has the cobalt. Indonesia has the nickel. And so with the exception of the countries I just mentioned, no one's really happy with this monopoly that's developed. And so there's a growing appetite to source minerals from new markets. There's a growing interest in Canada's supply of cobalt, for example. And so there really is an opportunity for us to kind of get in there and disrupt this Olympic podium of critical mineral suppliers.
But as always, there's this push-pull between wanting to lead, but also wanting to protect at the same time. We've spoken a lot on this show. You might have even produced some of the hits and conversations we've had about the time it takes to get these minerals out of the ground. You know, it can be up to 16 years. There's environmental pushbacks that come whenever we want to break soil. So how does Carney's new One Canadian Economy Bill, or Bill C5, help us with our potential in doing this?
So the biggest thing here is that creating a mine, developing a mine, takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so in order to get investors comfortable with the idea of spending that much and taking that kind of risk, we have to create an environment of certainty so that they feel comfortable doing so. Our track record for that is a little mixed right now. If you look at some of our more ambitious energy projects like the Energy East oil pipeline or Northern Gateway, they were both met with some pretty fierce backlash. And so a lot of our success on this file is going to boil down to Carney's plan to exactly do that, to fast-track the creation of energy products in this country. In order to do that, he's going to need to satisfy the concerns of Indigenous communities. He's going to need to address the environmental concerns about developing all of these different mines. But if he can do that, and he can create a process that helps these projects sail their way to approval, it could be a game changer to us because, as you said, these mines take a very long time to develop. And in some cases, we want to develop them in such remote locations that we have to build roads and other infrastructure just to get to them.
Right.
So this is very much long-term thinking, and we need that approval process now.
I'm really enjoying this sustainability series of yours. What's next?
We're looking at defense and how Canada can defend our own borders without the help of other countries like the United States.
I saw some pictures on your social media from yesterday, you with some camo on. I can't wait to see the series. Thanks, Mike. Great job.
Appreciate it.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.